So some of the content with SunBear's programs, we did the intro program, and we do things like an exercise on earth awareness. And this just, if you get this lesson, it's worth listening to me ramble for a while. But yeah, we do this exercise. It was so cool. Where we'd say, okay, well, we'd sit in a circle always. It wasn't like in classrooms where I'm the one facing the camera and you people are out there looking in, so I'm in charge. No, there was a circle. So everybody that wanted to say something, maybe that was important to be brought up in the moment. And so, we'd pretty much listen to SunBear if he was in the circle, or Raven if he was leading the group, or later if it was me or Moondeer or someone, you know, teaching. But it was interesting that this exercise, we'd sit in a circle and then say, okay, everybody go out, and it's probably going to be 45 minutes to an hour. Find a spot. We're going to give you 10, 15 minutes to find a spot. Try not to be right near where you hear or see someone else. So there was a mountainside outside Spokane, Washington. And you go up somewhere around the mountains here, over this way, behind there. This is steeper. That's easier to walk. But get out somewhere and find a place that you can just be there. And then in a while, Dennis is going to blow this conch shell. That we had a conch shell, and I would blow that, and they'd hear that, and that was like all come down to. We tried to use things from the earth as signals rather than yelling with our voice or blowing a shrill whistle or something. And so then you come back down and we'll do feedback. So we sit in a circle, and SunBear would say, okay, he'd go to the person either clockwise or counterclockwise. It didn't matter sometimes. But he'd say to the first person, okay, what happened? What was your experience? And so they'd say, well, I walked up over this way and I went over this ridge, and then it felt so open and expansive. I just had to stay there. And SunBear would say, okay, wait, open and expansive. Listen carefully how SunBear asked it. He was brilliant. He'd say, open and expansive. What did you feel in your body, and where in your body did you feel it that you're calling expansive? Because we don't know what that experience was. Oh, well, it was just like open and free. Okay. What was the question? What did you experience in your body? What feeling did you have? And where did you have that feeling? They say, well, it was just, I don't know how to describe it other than expansive and open and free. And I just loved being there. Okay, that's great. And then we go on to the next person. And they say, well, I went to this place and there was a circle of these big trees. And I thought, that's a sign. It's almost a perfect circle. Like someone planted these huge trees the size of this room I'm in, my living room. But big trees all around. So I went in the middle of the circle and leaned against this one tree. And then I get edgy, and I just knew I had to move. Edgy. So SunBear would say, okay, edgy. I'm not sure. And by the way, I'm going to go into linguistics at some point, because I do a whole talk on the power of words, and I can't help it, but I think of this. But SunBear was brilliant without knowing neurolinguistic programming or any of that stuff. He'd say, edgy. What did you feel in your body? You know what's coming. And where in your body did you feel it that you're calling edgy? I say, well, it was uncomfortable. Again, which didn't answer either of those questions. So I got up and moved to the center of the circle, and then I relaxed and felt serene. And so, okay, what does serene, again, where in your body, what did you feel, where in your body did you feel it? Serene. Again, we weren't getting answers. And I was watching this feedback from somewhere. I said, I probably did this too when I was a student, because we did the exercise, and now I'm learning how to lead the exercise. Oh man. And so we get to another person after about 5 or 6. Another person says, well, I was sitting in this one spot that seemed nice because there was a long view, but then my legs started to tingle, and I took that as a sign that I needed to move. So what they felt tingling, and where in their legs. And someone else picked up on that. Another person then said, I felt deeper, easier, fuller breaths were really natural. And I knew that I could settle in here and stay for the rest of the time until this conch shell blew. So there's something to think about. How do you experience life? Do we use words that even describe our life experience for the day that are so generic we don't actually sense the experience? Or can that be a lesson? Because SunBear talked about moving to a new city and there's schools, there's work, there's this or that. But then you go visit the town or the city or that neighborhood and you walk around. Oh, did you get this knot in your stomach or a lump in your throat? Part of that when I do talks on safety and security, because that's kind of one of my obsessions that I studied a lot, is what do you notice? What are the signals from your body that something might not be right? Do you know what they are? See, there's application of this for you to experience life fully.